So I'm pretty excited about what happened today. This was probably the most positive hearing that we've had here in Lake County, Florida, and that the judge ruled a majority of things in our favor. So it began the court proceeding with the plaintiff presenting their motions, which were, the first one was that they wanted to punish Wolfgang, what is it called, hold in contempt for recording a hearing that was held in May, supposedly on a hidden microphone in a pen, which was actually my cell phone in my pocket, all right? So, but it's a public hearing and you're allowed to record a public hearing. And at the time, Judge Champ, rather than Judge Griggs, was the presiding judge, and she never knew, but I posted it on my YouTube, and I guess Wynn got back to it. They had it taken down, and they wanted to punish Wolfgang for it, even though he didn't even know that I did it. But anyway, so the judge ruled that that was irrelevant, and he wasn't even the judge at that time. And besides, you're allowed to record a public hearing. So next was brought up the motions that Wolfgang had failed to respond to motions for discovery. And he had responded, but he hadn't responded in a way that the plaintiff wanted. In other words, Wolfgang is being sued for posting public information of Lenny Pozner online, which includes his telephone number, his address, which was a post office box, and his name. And really, that's the extent of it. So all these motions for discovery, interrogatories, were asking Wolfgang, how did he feel about Sandy Hook? Did he think it was real, or did he think it was staged? What evidence does he have to prove that it was staged? Blah, 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 blah. Who's helped him provide him with this evidence? Well, all of which should be irrelevant to the case at hand. If I was the judge, I would have dismissed this from the get-go because it's frivolous, right? You can post someone's information that is already available online. You're allowed to post it online. It's not an invasion of privacy. But anyway, the judge heard these motions, and some he actually felt that Wolfgang is required to respond with more of an answer than just that it's irrelevant. So now Wolfgang's being represented by an attorney, a very good attorney, and just by him sitting there, it kind of changed the whole attitude of the judge, and he was a little bit more careful about what he said. So he dismissed 50% of these motions for discovery. It's really answers to the interrogatories. And the other 50%, he said that Wolf is required to respond within 30 days and elaborate more. And he also gave the opposing counsel an opportunity to reword the questions and resubmit some of the motions. It was almost as if the judge was counseling Lenny Pozner's attorney on how to present his information better, because it was done in a very sloppy manner. And the guy's unintelligible. He can't even understand what he says half the time. Then it was our turn. The defendant's motions were, one, for sanctions and to be held in contempt against the plaintiff for failure to respond to discovery questions, which were expected and ordered by the court to be furnished by June 13th, 2017, and they still have not been received yet. And then second was a ruling made by Judge Champ allowed Lenny Pozner to have a deposition, but to have it not recorded, which according to Florida law, you're illegally allowed to have a deposition video recorded. So their motion was to reconsider that and allow the video deposition, and the judge agreed that regardless of what Judge Champ had ruled, that it was out of line with Florida law, which grants the defendant the right to record. So we all left there pretty much high fives, smiles, and happy, and grateful that we have an attorney who is one of us, who is seeking truth and doing the right thing. And Wolfgang had a big smile on his face. Luckily, thanks to Justin being punctual and responsible, unlike Liz Wall and her cameraman, who were 2 hours late to interview me yesterday and wound up 20 minutes late to the hearing today, even though they had been granted rights to record the hearing, exclusive rights, because they weren't there on time, and Justin was, he's the one that got exclusive rights to record the entire hearing. So we're grateful to him for being punctual and being involved and being concerned. And Liz interviewed Justin, interviewed me yesterday, She is, you know, basically a mainstream media propagandist who most likely is going to try to make us appear like some kind of crazy conspiracy nut jobs, which we are, but we're also just trying to seek the truth. And that's why we're here, as people that are concerned about our fellow man and care about what's going on in the world today.